Hey team, there's none, and then suddenly there's hundreds of the fuckers. This is a trailer reaction to The Phoenician Scheme, the latest film by Wes Anderson. Come on, guys. Since we've been doing the Popcorn Junkies, since we've been the Popcorn Junkies, we've had Isle of Dogs, we've had Asteroid City, we had, what's the other one? The French Dispatch. This is our fourth Wes Anderson film as Hot Corn Pompies. Popcorn Junkies. So this is The Phoenician Scheme. Tell us your favourite Wes Anderson film underneath. You've got to tell us your favourite Wes Anderson film. What is it? I actually personally really quite liked certainly the look, the style, the feel, the ambience of Asteroid City. There were moments in The French Dispatch that I liked. I actually liked Benicio del Toro in it best. I think that was the one in which he was in a wheelchair. Other films of his that I've enjoyed, The Grand Budapest Hotel, I think is probably one of my favourites. Ralph Fiennes giving it everything as the kind of, essentially the sort of manager, is he, of a hotel. One of the kids' favourite films is The Fantastic Mr. Fox. It is great. I think if there's a problem with Wes Anderson films, they sometimes suffer from being a real case of more style than substance. I do get frustrated. I get a similar response to his films as I used to get to the films of Peter Greenaway, which is, yes, I can get on board with the architecture, the symmetry, the meticulous production design, the set pieces, the sets within sets within sets, so that really they're actually miniatures. It's like they're all miniature, sort of almost theatrical sets that are filmed on. But I get frustrated sometimes that the characters in his films end up being nothing more than props, really, within beautifully constructed shots. And I think their prop-like nature can sometimes get in the way of some real emotion. I find myself wanting emotion. I mean, you laugh a lot. I do find his humour, his slapstick humour, quite entertaining. He likes to use a sort of coterie of actors that he returns to time and time again. And in the Phoenician Scheme, a Phoenician is someone from the Levant, formerly Syria. Well, Syria and Lebanon now, but a Phoenician is a sort of maritime person from the Levant area. I think T.S. Eliot had the famous Phoenician sailor, didn't he, in a poem? Anyway, this stars Benicio del Toro. There's Mia Threapleton in there, Tom Hanks, Michael Cera, Bryan Cranston, Riz Ahmed, Scarlett Johansson, Jeffrey Wright, who pops up a lot. Bill Murray always has a cameo. Benedict Cumberbatch. They're always jam-packed with big names, big on star factor, big on style, sometimes lacking on the emotional front.
At this moment, rescue workers are laboring to recover and identify the remains of Zsa Korda, international businessman, maverick in the fields of armaments and aviation, among the richest men in Europe. This was Korda's 6th recorded airplane crash. He is survived by 10 children, 9 boys, 1 nun, his daughter Liesel.
I've appointed you sole heir to my estate, which you may come into sooner rather than later.
Why? It's been 6 years since our last meeting.
I have my reasons.
Which are what?
My reasons? I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm not saying. Korda Land and Sea Phoenician Infrastructure Scheme. My most important project of my lifetime.
Our objective: disrupting, obstructing, impeding, crippling Korda's enterprise in any manner possible.
Get the hand grenades. Today, tonight, and tomorrow, we rendezvous with every Titan and pretend we agree what we already agree. But in fact, we don't. We can't. Call it.
Heads.
Heads.
Is this supposed to be here? It was under the lunch trolley.
Oh dear, we shot you.
Tara's from out of town. Help yourself to a hand grenade.
You're very kind.
Could you imagine falling in love with a man like me, by the way, hypothetically?
You're drunk on 3 beers.
Why are you shooting my ceiling?
This is a robbery on behalf of...
I understand that. I'm asking about my ceiling. You idiots are destroying a magnificent nightclub. One thing you'll never know because you can't. The truth. I suppose I'm moved by this absurd performance. I recognize this assassin.
Calm down.
Suicide panel.
Where's my father? Take this miserable sin into the company.
I'm going to say something contentious. There's a lot to like visually. And there's a lot of playfulness and almost kind of quizzy, kind of problem solving, kind of trickery pokery, jiggery pokery, trickery pokery. But I'm slightly worried that we could begin to say that Wes Anderson is a bit of a wanker. just popping it out there. I mean, it feels to the vast majority of people like, okay, well, it's an incredibly intricate curate's egg of a proposition. How do I work this out? What does that mean? Why has he shot it like that? Everything is reduced to form and formality. That I have to say, I wasn't feeling the heart, even when in the humour. And I find Benicio del Toro is hysterical sometimes, without maybe necessarily meaning to be. I'm striving for the heart. I'm striving for the truth, rather than the cleverness and the smartness of whatever it's ending up trying to do. Do you get me? It's like, why would we care? I understand why the actors want to be in them. It's like I want to be in a Wes Anderson film. I understand why the crew would want to shoot them, because I want to be responsible. The shots are beautiful, don't get me wrong. It looks stunning. You can't get away from that. Every single... But I have to confess, the sort of straight-on portrait shot, people looking into camera, Benedict Cumberbatch, why have you shot my ceiling? That moment where he shoots the ceiling in the nightclub, it could have been Ralph Fiennes coming down in the Grand Budapest Hotel, punching someone. You know, Scarlett Johansson with the Sussman Corda sign above her head. That could have been straight out of Asteroid City. I don't know. I do begin to wonder whether the Wes Anderson bandwagon... Could it be running out of steam? Is it sacrilege to say this, guys? I'm beginning to feel, is it sacrilege to say I'm not that excited? And I want to be.